Hey y'all, welcome to or back to my channel. I'm Alyssa, and today we're going to be making these super cute crochet ruffle socks, footies, whatever you want to call them. Quick disclaimer about them. I did the ruffles super dramatic on the socks, and I'm going to redo them and do it as double crochet for the entire set of ruffles. If you don't want your socks with dramatic ruffles, just don't do as many ruffles and don't do the treble stitch. That's all I can tell you. But when I remake them, I'll upload them and show y'all for the people who want to see it in a less dramatic look. For this tutorial, I used Red Heart yarn in the shade Carrot for the base of the footy, and then I used Buff for the ruffles, aka the crust. I use a 5mm hook, a 6mm hook, and you'll need something to cut your yarn unless you want to be like me and just rip that shit. But if you have any other questions about the tutorial, comment them below and let me know. And if you make them, tag me on all other platforms at Heartstrings so I could see y'all's creation. Thank you for watching. Let's jump straight into the tutorial. Toodles. Jumping straight into the tutorial, I'm starting with Red Heart yarn in the shade Carrot, and I'm doing a magic circle. You are welcome to do the chain 4 slip stitch method if you prefer. I always pull my string out of the magic circle. That's a personal preference. Then I chain up 2. This chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. And then I proceed to put 12 double crochets inside of my magic circle. Once you have all 12 double crochets inside your magic circle, pull your magic circle closed. And I like to slip stitch into the first double crochet I made, but you're welcome to slip stitch into the top of the chain too. I do crochet over my yarn tails as a personal preference. This is what the base looks like after round 1. For round 2, we yarn over and we chain up 2 in that very same spot. You see how I opened it up right there? That very same spot, we're going to be putting 2 double crochets in that same stitch with the chain 2. Remember, the chain 2 doesn't count as a double crochet. We are then going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch for this entire round to increase. I find that this, just doing one increase works for me, one round of increase, but if you want to make your sock bigger, you can do multiple. Once you have all 24 double crochets in your round, slip stitch into the first double crochet to end your round. I'm done increasing again, and I'd say I have pretty wide feet, but you can increase more if you like. For round 3, I chain up 2, and I just put 1 double crochet in each stitch for the entire round, and this fits my feet well. Once you have all your double crochets in the round, you are going to end with 24, slip stitch into that first double crochet to end your round, and you're going to repeat round 3 until your sock covers the top of your foot. I'm going to show you an example in the photo. For my socks, I needed a total of 12 rows from the first row till the top of my foot for my sock to fit me, and I wear like a size 9.5 to a 10, so just make sure it fits like the photo at the top so you can start working on the ankle and it's not too loose on your feet. But try it on as you go. All right. Now, once I have all my rows done, I am going to chain up 2 so I can start working on my ankle. And in that same space, I'm going to put 1 double crochet. And then I'm going to proceed to do 17 double crochets, 1 in each stitch for a total of 18 double crochets. That fit my ankle comfortably. I have done 16 when I was working with a bigger hook, so you can do between 16 and 18, whatever fits your feet. Now, once you're finished with that first row, I chain up 2, I turn my work, and then I continue to do 18 double crochets in that row again, which is over top the stitches we just did. I did a total of 5 rounds for my ankle. You can do more or less depending on your ankle size, but 5 rounds worked out pretty well for me. Once I finish my 5 rounds, I'm ready to attach the footy. So I put, you see how I folded it back? You want the back sides to be touching. I do slip stitch into the work so it's connected. It does go off frame for a quick second, but you're going to see it come back on frame as I finish my slip stitch right here. And then I proceed to single crochet all the way down to connect both pieces of the footy. So pick up both loops on both sides and then just do a single crochet. You're welcome to do a slip stitch, but I just think the single crochet is easier to do and it's not going to be as tight on your feet. And it keeps the integrity of the footy. But again, do a slip stitch if you prefer. Once you have all your single crochets, I did push my work inward so I could check and see everything looked right, which it did. And then I am going to yarn over and pull through the loop. And I ripped my yarn with my hands like a barbarian. You don't have to do that. LOL. I didn't even tuck that yarn because it's in the sock. These socks are for me, and I don't have to do all that. Now that I have finished the footy, I'm going to do the perimeter. So I reattach my yarn and I chain up one. For the perimeter, I'm going to be putting one single crochet in every stitch around the perimeter. I do put a single crochet in like that hem where we did our attachment for the footy. And then I just put one single crochet in every spot all the way around. I do use a stitch marker. It's not required. I just used it for this one little time because I never really use them, LOL. But you're going to notice that I put one in the little space right on side of that first single crochet. You want to make sure you are putting your single crochets in the same spots each time. You want to be consistent so it doesn't look a little wonky towards the end. But it's okay. We're going to work over this anyway and you won't really see it. But you want to keep putting them in the same spots. I go through the stitch and then I go into that small little hole. I do that until I get to the front. It gets easier as you get to the front because it's working in the same direction as our double crochets. But you're just going to continue to place one single crochet in each stitch all the way around consistently in the same spots. And then I remove my stitch marker and I slip stitch into that very first single crochet that I made to start the round. And I just yarn over and end up pulling my yarn apart, but you are welcome to yarn over and cut your yarn. You don't have to pull it like me. And if you just don't want ruffles or you don't care for dramatic like footies, you can stop here. It's super cute. Like I liked it like this. This was cute. But I just want to go in and add the ruffles to give like that pie look. Like this yarn just reminds me of like a sweet potato pie. Very Thanksgiving, very festive. So I insert my hook into that very first single crochet in front of where I tied off my yarn. And then I switch my yarn over to Red Heart Buff for my little ruffles, aka pie crust. Attach my yarn, slip knot to my hook. I pull it through and then I'm going to end up chaining up 2 because for this first round, I'm going to be doing the double crochet stitch because I don't want to like stretch out or compromise the integrity of the footy by putting too many ruffles in that very first row. Because ruffles will stretch your work. That's why I add elastic to my hats. But I didn't want to add elastic to these socks. So I just did my first round of ruffles. I chained up 2. And I just did 1 double crochet in each stitch before I actually jump into the ruffles. But again, if you want to jump straight in, you can. Just know if you do too dramatic of ruffles on that first row after you did your single crochets, you may end up stretching out your sock. So it may be a little too big on your foot. But after I finish putting 1 double crochet in each stitch, with my buff yarn, I slip stitch into that first double crochet to end my round. Then I changed my hook. I upsized it to a 6mm. I was previously using a 5mm for the entire pattern or entire tutorial. Then I chain up 3 because I'm using the treble stitch now, not the double crochet stitch. And that chain 3 doesn't count as a treble stitch. For me, it doesn't. If you want to count it, you can. I then proceed to put 6 trebles into the first round. I know, just dramatic as fuck. I would probably redo this and do like 4 trebles on the first round and 3 in the next, but I like the dramatic look. It's just, I don't know, most people probably won't. That's why I'm telling y'all could do less if you don't want it as dramatic as me. But I just did 6 trebles in each stitch for this entire first round. Every single stitch got 6 trebles. Again, you do not have to do that many if you don't want to. You don't even have to upsize your hook. Once you have your first round of ruffles done, 6 trebles in each stitch, slip stitch into your first treble to end your round, and then we chain up 3 to do our second round. Now for this round, in that very same stitch, I'm going to be putting 3 trebles. Remember, our chain 3 does not count as a treble stitch. Now, after our chain 3, or our 3 trebles, we are going to go into the next stitch, and I just did 2. And so for this round, I alternated by doing 3 trebles, then 2 trebles, 3 trebles, 2 trebles for the entire round. It's still kind of a lot, but it's not as much as our first round, so bear with me. Again, do whatever makes you happy when it comes down to your ruffles, your socks. This is just what I did. Once I finished my second round, I slip stitch into the top of my first treble. I yarn over, I pull through, I rip my yarn, and this is what I am left with. This super dramatic, super cute crochet ruffle sock. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey y'all, thanks for watching my tutorial on how to make these super cute crochet ruffle footies, socks, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to insert some clips on how it looked when I finished on my feet for y'all. But again, thank y'all for watching. If y'all have any questions or comments, leave them below. Tag me on all platforms if you decide to make these. I want to see what y'all socks look like and what color combinations y'all use. And again, thank you for watching. Can't wait to see y'all in the next tutorial. Toodles.